So this is how the Vitality era ends, not with a banger, but with a whimper. JL is going to join Vitality as a stand-in, so just for a couple of tournaments, but for me, this paints kind of a gruesome picture about Vitality's future. I'm not going to say they're going to be bad. They're probably going to be still really, really good, an elite level team, but I just feel like this is where the era of dominance from Vitality comes to an end. Now, obviously, they missed out on winning the major, but still, I feel like coming into this fall season, they had a case on extending their era, even though they had like 3 off tournaments. You could say, I don't know if we're even going to count Blast Bounty an online tournament. I think you could just dismiss that. So you could say like, okay, lost to Navi in Atlanta, that's kind of bad. Oh, Colo Major, not great, but let's see how this season kicks off. And now, as we get this news of JL joining in for a couple of tournaments to stand in for Messi first in Blast Open Porto, and Apex after that in PGL Masters Bucharest. This just makes Vitality's season, it just makes it almost not matter very much. They're just going to pick out the 2 biggest tournaments in Esports World Cup, so they're going to play here with their full roster. And obviously the major in the tail end of the year. There's going to be a couple of other tournaments probably that they're going to field their 5-man unit with, but this just makes the season way harder as Apex and Messi take paternity leaves, not even at the same time. I mean, that would be pretty hard to line up, but if you want to be a dominant era-defining team, you gotta line those things up. You gotta text each other, hey, is is it happening tonight? Let's make it up. Okay, that's a digression. But yeah, I thought we could also look at a couple of other eras and how these eras came to an end. The Astralis era is the best example because that's the only one on par with Vitality's era, where you could go back and forth with making arguments for whichever era you find more, whichever era you just find overall better. I still don't know which side I would lead on. Astralis with a few more major wins, but Vitality streaks were unbelievable, and it just feels like the level of play is higher today. So it makes me feel like Vitality's era is maybe even a little bit better, but I think it's going to end here. Okay, where did Astralis' era end? Look at this. First. 2019, unbelievably good. Everything's looking up. Astralis, everything's cooking. All's well. 2019, we hit 2020. Interesting 2020. What's happened in 2020? Early 2020. 6 years ago, what's happened? Oh, a worldwide pandemic happened, and that's where things went adrift for Astralis. It's impossible to say what would have happened if this pandemic didn't happen. Could Astralis have kept up their form, or would the strain of traveling and keeping up this level of excellence fallen off naturally at some point? We can't say really, but this is where Astralis just didn't look like Astralis anymore. So in 2020, their results started falling off, and then what happened when we played so many online tournaments? Eventually we saw Astralis fielding different rosters. Here we have S-Tag. Like, this is a fun game of clicking on each of these tournaments to find out what type of an Astralis will we get next. Snoppy, Yugi. Oh, cool. What about here? Just Snoppy. Okay. No Yugi here. What about here? Just Snoppy. What about here? Oh, here they played with their full lineup. Cool. So yeah, this year and this whole streak of 2020 onto 2021 was weird, and after that, Astralis never really gained their level of play. It just went down into the dumpster, and I don't think we have to go too deep into that. Another good example of recent history is Navi with their almost, I don't know if I would call it an era. It was maybe too short of a time to call it that, but a really strong streak of tournaments where Navi was clearly the dominant team, clearly the best team in the world, with this major run here, 2 blast tournaments here, and then something, I don't know, something happened in 2022. Oh yeah. The whole war debacle, of course. And Navi never really got back to their level of form after that. They added Samdai Young, and there were issues there. They had NPL playing. Simple didn't like playing with either of those guys, and it ended with a fizzle. Like, it just fizzled off. There's no grand fireworks going off in the sky when these eras end, and this is giving me that type of a vibe. We will look back in 2030, we'll be like, yeah, that Vitality era in 2025, 2026, oh my god, they were so good. What's happened? Maybe some newcomer to the scene will ask, what's happened to that Vitality? Why couldn't they keep up their form? And we'll be like, I don't know. Carrigan joined Falcons, and they won that one major. And after that, there was that... What? JL? Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, JL joined in as a stand-in. And then that fall season, just... I don't know. That went pretty bad for Vitality. They won that one tournament. Maybe they won 2 tournaments, but they also bombed, didn't make the playoffs in a couple of tournaments, and their results just fell off. They were a good team, top 5 team, obviously, maybe even a top 3 team, one of the best teams in the world, but yeah, they just never looked kind of like their most dominant era of play, that level, that unbelievable level where nobody could stop them, nobody could touch them, and they had all those streaks, and yeah, that just kind of ended. And this is giving me exactly that vibe, unfortunately. I'm not even saying that Jail's a bad player. In Mouse, he did play these anchor type of positions, so yeah, covering for Mezzi maybe should be a little bit easier now that Jail has some experience in those more passive positions. I think PGL Beakers will be pretty tough without Apex playing, and this also probably removes, I don't know, weeks and weeks of practice together as a team, as these paternity leaves. I don't believe they're just for that one tournament for like 10 days. I would suppose that they would be at least a few weeks long. So yeah, it's cool for Mezzi and cool for Apex. And I'm not obviously saying that it's a bad idea to take those paternity leaves. Like, life comes first. Kudos to that, and I hope they have great paternity leaves. I think that's a really valuable thing. It's time you can't get back. So yeah, always family first. Life comes first. But it also means that this era will come to an end just quietly, and there's nothing like we can do about it. I would be very, very surprised if Vitality will be that same Vitality this upcoming season and after that. So my 2 cents. Let me know if you think Vitality can keep up their era, or was this it?